So we're going to read today about Sago, a very special service dog. And the reason is because we have been given permission by all of your parents and by a special organization called New Horizons Service Dogs to host a service dog in this classroom. So this is a dog whose job is going to be to help someone who needs his help. Maybe someone who sits in a wheelchair and can't reach light switches or reach high cabinets. Maybe it's someone who has another disease or another disorder, and sometimes maybe their heart races too fast or they have other problems, health problems. And these dogs can actually help them to stay safe and be in situations that are keeping them protected.
Somebody here has a broken leg, but she doesn't really need help.
Right. Sometimes that happens too. And there is actually a teacher on the upper campus who is what's called seeing impaired. She can't see perfectly well. She can only see from very close. Her name is Mrs. Jemison. She teaches language arts over at the upper campus to the high school kids. She has a dog. His name is Anakin, if you like Star Wars. And he's a black dog. Yes, and he's trained to help her so that she can walk places and not bump into them. He's her eyes for her because his eyes work great. So he's been trained, yes, to be her helper. So we're going to read about Sago, a very special service dog, so that you can better understand why a service dog might need to come into our classroom before it gets placed with a special helper. So the story is written by Beth Davis and illustrated by Deborah Schilling. And we actually have a signed copy by the author. That's pretty cool. So the author who wrote the words of this story signed this copy of the book before we got to have it. So that's pretty cool. Sago, a very special service dog. And these are some other people who have read the book and said really nice things about the book. So we'll go ahead and get started with it. Here, I'll show you guys in just a second, okay? This is Debbie. Debbie travels everywhere in a special chair with wheels called a wheelchair. Some people are not able to walk or have difficulty walking and need a wheelchair to get from place to place. Whee! Debbie can wheel around fast in her wheelchair. And there's Debbie in her wheelchair.
And how does he drive the car?
Well, there's special cars that are actually made with a ramp and a lift, and they can ride their wheelchair right up to the pedals, and they can drive the car using just the steering wheel, and they don't need to use the pedals with their feet. Isn't that cool? Mm-hmm. Special cars are made just for people who aren't able to use their legs.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's called handicap accessible. Pretty cool. This is Sago. Sago is a very special dog. Sago is Debbie's service dog. Sago travels everywhere with Debbie. They are best friends. And he's wearing a vest that says New Horizons Service Dogs, just like Dillinger, our dog in our class, is going to have. Sago helps Debbie with many tasks. Sago can pick up Debbie's keys if she drops them. He can carry her belongings, and he can even bring her the telephone. He's trained to do all these things to help her. Isn't that cool? Sago can open up the refrigerator and bring Debbie a bottle of water. Sometimes Sago will bring one bottle for Debbie and one for himself. Debbie and Sago work as a team. Sago brings his water bowl to Debbie and she pours in the water. Dogs need to drink plenty of water, just like people do.
That's a good dog. I want that dog.
That has a service dog, or is it just
Say one more time.
Is the girl who writes this, is she a person with a wheelchair, or is she just normal?
That's a really good question. It says she is the founder of Positive Tales, Positive Tales Incorporated, a nonprofit company committed to enriching the lives of people with disabilities, helping them with the placement of service dogs. So I'm not sure if she has a disability herself or if she needs a dog to help her, but she's a person who started a company to help other people who need dogs to help them with their lives.
It's cold in here.
I'm sorry. You can borrow a jacket if you need to.
I'm not cold.
Sago is always by Debbie's side. They are lucky. They can go everywhere together. Did you know that service dogs are allowed in places where pets are not allowed, such as a school, perhaps, restaurants and supermarkets? Why do you think they get to go in places where other pet dogs are not allowed to go? Exactly. Yeah, it helps them, right? They need that help. It's like their special assistant. When they go to the store, Sago retrieves Debbie's wallet from her bag. That means to get it out of her bag. she puts the money right in Sago's mouth, and Sago jumps up, putting only his 2 front paws on the counter, opening his mouth for the cashier to take out the money.
Wow.
So he helps her pay for things. That's okay. You know what? There might be a little bit of slobber on it, but I think that's probably better because Debbie wouldn't be able to get up and give it to him. So don't you think that's a little better?
Yeah. But the slobber will dry out for the night.
Maybe. Did I show you guys that page?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I did. Sorry. I just want to make sure you see it all the way. Sago helps Debbie get ready for school. He brings Debbie her sweater and her book bag. Sago brings Debbie his own vest too, so that Debbie can put it on him. So here's what I know about these service dogs. They have a special vest that tells them and other people when they're working. Because when the vest comes off, it's like playtime. They can have recess, right? So when they're at home and they're wearing their vest, they know, okay, it's time to work and help. But as soon as that vest comes on, then they can act like a dog. They can play and they can roll on the floor and they can let other people pet them. But when they're wearing their vest, they know that they're working and they're making sure.
Trying to pet them, they just walk away.
Well, they don't walk away, but other people have to be respectful. And the reason I wanted to read this book to you before next week is because when Dillinger comes to school with me, he's going to be wearing his working vest. And we need to make sure that we know when he's wearing his vest, we cannot pet him.
But when he's not, you can play with him.
That's right. When I take the vest off, then we can pet him and play with him, and it's okay for him to visit with you.
Is he gonna make a mess around the classroom? At your house, or
he's living? That's a good question. He's going to be living at my house for about 6 months. Only about 6 months. So only until maybe like January or February, he'll be living in my house, or maybe March. And then after March, then he gets to go and live with the person he'll be helping. But the reason he has to come to my house first is because he's still learning. He's training how to be a helper dog. So because I don't need help to put money on the counter and to get water bottles, I'm helping him learn how to do those things before he goes and does that for somebody else. Because if he goes straight to someone else's house right now and doesn't really know how to do it yet, then yeah, he would, right, he would just be kind of like a normal dog. So he's still learning how to be a helper dog, a service dog. So that's why he's coming to stay with me in my house. And the reason he's coming to school is because he needs to learn that when other people are calling his name or trying to touch him, he needs to ignore them. So he's coming here to learn self-control, which is one of the fruits of the Spirit, isn't it? Yeah, so he's going to come here and learn self-control. And that's important for him. He is going to learn about Jesus. And he'll get lots of cuddles when his vest is off, won't he? I'm sure you guys will do that.
Yeah.
So,
but you got to wash him first.
Yes. Yep.
I will not pet him unless.
That's right, unless he's got his vest off. And then you can ask permission to pet him. Always ask permission. Many service dogs wear a vest, just like Sago. And this one says, New Horizons Service Dogs. This is the dog's uniform, just like you guys are wearing a school uniform.
What if the dog tries to take the vest off?
They can't. It's buckled on them. But that's a good question. This lets everyone know that this is a working service dog. So Dillinger, when he's living with my family, he'll come with me to go to the grocery store and go grocery shopping, and he'll walk right next to me and he'll watch me to make sure that he's doing everything I'm asking him to do. And we'll have to teach him lots of commands. Every single day we'll have to work on his commands because there are certain things that he's going to need to learn how to do. If he's given to someone who is in a wheelchair and maybe doesn't have the use of their hands or their arms, he's going to have to learn how to hop up on the wall and turn the lights on and off for people, and maybe how to grab things for them and hand it to them.
My dog already knows how to do that.
Maybe give them their socks and shoes so they can put them on. Does he? Well, you must have been a good trainer.
Well, we don't need it.
So maybe it's someone who,
training him.
that could be. Maybe it's someone who can reach their feet, but they can't go over and get their shoes. So maybe Dillinger will help bring them their shoes so they can put them on. Or flip-flops, maybe. Maybe he'll even learn how to put their flip-flops on them for them. That'd be neat. If you just put your foot out, and maybe a dog can put a flip-flop on for you. That'd be cool.
Wow.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not sure.
I don't even know any rules except Bella knows not how to not scratch and jump on.
Okay. All right. Let's see what this one says. It is very important for service dogs to pay attention when helping their owners. Right? So training to be a helper for someone else. But right now, he thinks he's my helper. So when he comes to live with my family, he's going to look at me and he's going to think that I'm the one who needs help. So he's going to be practicing for the real thing. Get your brain. When you see a service dog working, hold on just a minute. When you see a service dog working, it is never a good idea to pet them or call to the dog. Do you know why? Tell me why. Raise your hand if you know why.
Because they'll think you're their owner.
Well, you'll distract them. And then they won't be focused on the person they're supposed to be helping, will they?
No.
Yeah, so this is good practice for you guys too. Not just for the dog, huh? Yeah. If you feel that you want to pet the service dog, it's very important to ask the owner first. So for Dillinger, I'm his owner, so you'll ask me first. You should actually never pet any dog, a service dog or not, without first asking the owner for permission, because some dogs may be a little scared of kids. And what do animals sometimes do if they feel afraid? Yeah, they can hurt you.
Daisy just
Always, yeah. That's your dog.
run away. She's not.
All right. I'm going to read the next page. There are many different kinds of service and working dogs. Some service dogs guide people who cannot see, just like Mrs. Jemison at the upper campus. He helps her. Some dogs are used for search and rescue to find people who lose their way. So if somebody gets lost, the police officers can sometimes say, here, sniff this person's shirt. This is what they smell like. Now go find them. And those dogs will go and help find people. These dogs use their noses to smell for the scent of the missing people and then lead the way to them. Isn't that amazing? There are many different types of dogs that can do many different wonderful things for people who need assistance. Even family pet dogs make us feel good.
Grandmas and grandpas can have them because if they
Absolutely.
keep on breaking, they can just have them.
That's right. Now, although service dogs like Sago are not pet dogs, they do spend time with their owners having fun. Debbie and Sago enjoy spending time at the beach together. They love each other very much. Sago is a cherished member of Debbie's family and will always be a very special service dog. And here I'm going to show you, this page is really cool. Here are some pictures of some real, I'll show you guys in just a second, some real service dogs helping their owners.
But that dog looks like Dillinger because he has a long neck. Normal dogs don't really have that.
And actually, these dogs, what's really special about this company is that they find dogs who are like little bitty baby puppies. And that's when they start.
Hugging.
Yeah, isn't that sweet?
Hey, you know what
Hugs for service dogs. Hold on just a second. What they do is they start these little tiny puppies and they start teaching them how to be a helper service dog, a service dog.
Before they grow up.
Yes, and then when they get older, then they're already well behaved and well trained.
Just 1 year old and they're already bigger than mine, which is 4 years old.
Oh, really? And it's already bigger? That's funny. So here are, hold on just a minute. I see your hand. I'll take your question just a second. So here's what some of Sago and Debbie talk about the important rules. And this is the part I really wanted you guys to hear, okay? Never, Sago says, never pet a service dog without asking the owner if it's okay. And the reason is because distractions can cause harm to the owner or the dog. If the dog's not paying attention to his owner and he's paying attention to let someone else pet him, his owner might fall or trip, or they might have something happen to their health and the dog won't be paying attention to help them.
But they
Okay.
can't really get them to the hospital.
No, but you know what they can do? They can go maybe make a phone call for them or tell someone. I'm not really sure. Maybe they have a button. Sometimes people have a little button they wear around like a necklace and it's like an emergency call. And maybe the dog has been trained to push that if something happens to the owner.
What
Maybe
does it
something
do
like that.
when I hit that?
Calls the police and gets an ambulance so that someone will come and help them. It's called medical alert.
Is ours gonna have one probably?
No, probably this dog? No, because I don't need it. But maybe his next owner will. I don't know. Sago says, please do not feed a service dog. Here's why. Feeding service dogs food and treats can distract them from their job. Distractions can harm the owner or the dog. Do not worry. Service dog owners make sure their dogs are fed a very healthy, nutritious diet and just the right amount of yummy treats. But if we try to give them a treat, it will distract them and they won't be paying attention.
We don't really have any treats.
And they'll
to give.
turn
That's
into a
good.
flat-
Don't bring any in your pockets, okay? Sago says, please do not wave or call me or whistle at me to get my attention. And Debbie says, remember, the service dog is working, so allowing the dog to stay focused is safest for everyone, including the dog. And the last one, please do not give service dog commands such as sit or stay or fetch, because if you give him commands, then he'll listen to you instead of the owner. And Debbie explains it is very important to let the owners give the commands and tell their service dogs what to do. Service dog owners have special commands and hand signals their dogs understand. Letting the owner speak to their dogs is the best way to prevent the dogs from making mistakes. Okay? So, and then I actually have a little coloring page for you about service dogs, if you'd like to do that real quick. And I have a little bookmark that tells a little more about the company. But this is, oh, here we go. This is about the author. Beth Davis received, she went to college from the State University of New York at Binghamton. She is the founder of Positive Tales, paw, like a dog paw, which is committed to enriching the lives of people with disabilities by providing money and training and the placement of service dogs. So she helps people get a dog if they need a dog to help them.
What about the money part?
What about the money? A lot of times it's donations. I know that with New Horizons, and oh my goodness gracious, look at that tiny little puppy who's learning to be a service helper. I'm going to show you guys too. Oh my goodness. It's so cute. Dillinger will be older than this. He's about 1.5 years old.
Whoa.
So he has just gone through 1 whole year of training. So he knows his commands, but he hasn't really been out in the community yet. He's only been with one person getting trained. So now he's going to come here and he's going to have to practice self-control. You guys ready to help me with this project, this dog, the service dog? So now you understand a little more about it and why it's important and why they're getting trained and why he's coming here and what you can do to help. He won't have fleas. He has preventative treatment for fleas. He's healthy. He's already been checked out by the vet. What's your question, Graham? Oh, go ahead. Okay. Bye, guys.